It's cold season, as many of us know, so we're all reaching for our tissues like nonstop. Luckily, Maria has an adorable DIY tissue box cover. That is nothing to sneeze at. Like that, Maria?
I did. I got that. I got that.
You just ignored it.
I was admiring my work.
You were too. Well, you should. They're fantastic.
I mean, it's like you said, cold and flu season, and I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and they are just so snotty, and all the kids at school are snotty, and so I am telling you, you need something that will encourage them to go grab a tissue. So I think all the teachers out there, they would love to have these in their classrooms, but also around your house, we have tissue boxes everywhere. So I wanted to make them really fun. And truthfully, when you're not feeling well, you kind of want to have that warm, cozy feeling, and this adds to just like that comfort.
Right.
And you know what? If you have to have a tissue, at least it's in something cute.
And it's going to look cute. You got two different versions here, which are both fantastic. We're going to start with kind of the sweater-wrapped version, which looks tricky for me. And I know you said I was going to get involved, and I'm nervous.
Are you ready for the fastest DIY in the entire world?
What?
Okay, let's
Really?
go. Yes, this is a sweater. This is a tissue box cover. These are scissors.
Okay.
We're going to add them together, and that is all we do. So
that's all we need for this one?
Watch this. This is so satisfying. All you do is...
Oh, my
And then,
goodness.
look at this. You push this in.
You push that in, and you put your tissue box inside.
And you do this. And so, of
is
course,
wild.
I would glue all of this in here. I would cut
So
this.
it doesn't come apart.
Yeah. And then I would, as you can see on the inside, this comes through. I would cut that in, on all four, like kind of four sides.
Yeah.
And glue it like that.
Then,
Tissue box.
By the way, that was like my favorite sweater you just cut.
I'm sorry about that, but I needed it for my DIY. And so here's the thing.
What a great deal. I love that.
You could also do, let's say you have a sweater like what I have on or something.
Yes.
And instead of doing just what I just did, if it's not like a bigger sweater, you could ultimately just cut pieces to it and put it on there and wrap it almost like a present. And if you have any kind of pieces that fray, you either use a fray check or you use some hot glue. Fold it over, use some hot glue, or potentially you could use some Fabri-Tac as well. I love using Fabri-Tac for anything.
This is my favorite
I was really
DIY
excited. I wanted to get it done as fast as possible.
Okay, I mean, you knew I'd love it. You knew I would. Okay, and I'm going to love this guy too. In fact, you know what? I'm a little sniffly. I don't know if you can hear. So
Little
I'm just
sniffly.
gonna use a little tissue here.
Tell everybody why. You had some...
Yes, I had a little cup of bone broth and turmeric. It's true. And
It's the most Cameron thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Clearing my sinuses. Okay, so now what do we need here? Obviously, these are made with some felt, so you've got some nice fancy felt.
Yes, so kind of wanted to think outside of the box for this one specifically. So we have these around our house here. And so what I wanted to do is figure out a really fun way to cover it.
Great.
These felt sheets you can get at the craft supply store just like this.
That's us.
Exactly. Okay. And so what I did was I wanted to create a little mountain, like mountain range for our tissues. So what I did ultimately to kind of figure out my sizing, Cam, is I went like this, as you can see here, and I kind of cut around. You're making a mess of my beautiful snow.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm
not doing anything.
That's how I created my sizing. I'm going to cut over to this. This is my template.
Okay, so this is the template for the shape, which will then sort of fold, in a sense, into the proper cone.
Yes, let me tell you, anytime you do a cone shape, this is what you want to do, is something like that. So what I did was, I have my template. I did this here, and I did this with all of mine for my mountain range. I'm going to just use this, actually.
Yeah, you cut them out.
Exactly, I'll use this template right here. So what I did then, Cameron, once I cut it out, I created this white part. And what I do here is I actually do this. And I take my pen, and I want to draw, this does not have to be perfect because we're going to cut on the inside of it, a little bit of excess around here. And then what I would do, Cam, is I would take this off and start cutting the jagged little areas.
Yes, the snow.
And let me show you what I mean by that.
Parts, yes.
So it looks like this.
And you do that all while it's still
here?
flat. I noticed that this felt, you got a little sparkle going on there.
This is sparkly felt. So you could, shocker there. It's already pre-sparkled.
Okay, good.
And so what I did, I used my Fabri-Tac to glue that on. So you can see I had my white and my other color, glued it on, had a little excess around here. So this is where it's important.
Now I need to know how it gets its structure, how it sort of sets up. So does it use the actual Kleenex box as its sort of foundation?
So this one sort of does. It's more of a cover. So if you cannot find the tissue boxes like this, go to your craft supply store and find these little guys here, cut off the top, and you can actually put the tissues in there that come in like a regular box.
Even better, great.
So then the way you figure out your sort of sizing and way to glue it is you put it on like this. And then you just, I'm going to use some hot glue, but I would use Fabri-Tac, Cam, and I would use Fabri-Tac because you want to be able to wash these.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then that's it. That's all you do, and you would just go about using your glue.
So we're using
and
hot
that
glue
is
now
it.
just for the purposes of television, but
Of time,
Fabri-Tac,
yeah,
you wanna keep
and
these
I would use
clean.
Fabri-Tac, though.
People are sneezing on them. You never know. Maria,
I'm so excited.
amazing. Oh my gosh, you are
It
excited.
worked. It was in
I'm
my
excited
head,
too, but I
and
love
it
it.
worked.
I should be jumping up and down.
Very
myself. Full
excited.
instructions, go over to hallmarkchannel.com, everybody. That's where they will be. Coming up next.
God bless you.
Thank you. Is my nose running?
No.
LZ is keeping us warm with his stylish turtleneck trends. I happen to love turtlenecks.
I'm wearing a turtleneck.
Okay, there you go. Come on back.